At this specialist hospital in Amman, Mohammed Al-Khaledi is being taken down to theatre for his 4th operation on his jaw. Caught up in gunfire, he was shot in Yemen while shopping at the market. Treating his wound should have been simple, but it's persistently got infected and antibiotics are not working. Earlier, he told me of his fear he'd never get better. In Yemen, he says, there was no treatment. I didn't have any hope there. On the operating table, his surgeon finds Mohammed's wound is too infected today to do the surgery he needs.
Unfortunately, we have some multi-drug resistant bacteria that, despite the potent and high doses of antibiotics, it's very difficult to eradicate. These patients are treated in a field hospital sometimes, in hospitals that lack the basics, talking about disinfection, cleaning.
Just like Rayam Hussein, the 23-year-old fractured her arm and pelvis after falling from a building in an explosion in Baghdad. I thought I was going to die, she says. Then I got an infection and doctors tried to treat it in Iraq. I took lots of different medicine, but nothing helped. Both patients were transferred here, a hospital in Jordan that helps hundreds of war wounded from around the region every year. But doctors are finding it increasingly hard to treat them.
Doctors say that 60% of the patients they see here show some signs of being resistant to antibiotics. That's an astonishing figure when you think of the trauma these patients have already been through, and it's why this hospital is such a lifeline for so many of them.
Antibiotic resistance is now one of the biggest threats to global health. International scientists here are studying samples of bacteria, looking at how they've changed to become resistant and trying to find new drugs that can kill them.
So the space around the antibiotic means the antibiotics are killing the bacteria.
Killing the bacteria, yeah.
Not this one though?
No, this one and this one are
so
not this one, yeah.
This is resistant to that
It's
antibiotic.
really resistant.
Dr. Connor Bowman says misuse of antibiotics is one of the main reasons his patients are so resistant.
They kind of get given antibiotics in an erratic and non-scientific fashion, so they're usually maybe given inappropriate or incorrect antibiotics, and this just means that the bacteria around us are able to become resistant to that.
There's crisis care, they're just being thrown anything.
Exactly.
Here in Jordan, like many other countries, antibiotics can be bought on the black market. It means overuse is also making the spread of resistance worse.
Because so many people here use non-prescribed antibiotics, Jordan is one of the worst countries for the overuse of the drug. The consumption here is 3 times that of the UK, even though Jordan is a much, much smaller country. And the fear is the resistant bacteria could spread from here across the globe, and that is why it's so important officials here get a handle on it as soon as possible.
Jordan's health minister, a doctor who's practiced in the UK, has a national plan to control the overuse of antibiotics, but it's not enough on its own.
We need to work systematically in the country, as in the region, and in the world as altogether. Just one country working alone on this issue would not be efficient. I think we need to work together.
Without that, we are perhaps careering towards a post-antibiotic era where common infections, once treated instantly, could kill again. Emily Morgan, News at 10 in Amman, Jordan.